Hello, this is SCon Gamer, bringing you some Neverwinter. I figured I'd do this as my first video since it's actually something that I'm probably not going to be doing too very often. Um, Neverwinter is a Dungeon and Dragon type game, online game, but I have looked into it and also played on it a bit on an alternate account and found that it is extremely unbalanced in a lot of areas. I'm not going to go too much into the imbalances and such, as I probably should mute the audio for this. Yeah, that's better. But let's go ahead and get started in creating a new character. So this is the intro. Turn the audio back on for this. I actually find it a pretty neat intro. So we have a dead dragon with a soul. Really quick, the only reason why I'm showing the intro is that I find it to be extremely neat, and also, I mean, you'd see this if you were to create your own character too. And that was the end of the intro. As you can see here, we have many different races we can choose from. Half orc, human, dwarf, elf, half elf, trifling, halfling, Dragonborn is a buy-to-play type thing. The main version of Dro you can do without having to buy it, but the second version, the Mesobarethan, I probably completely butchered that, Renegade is buy-to-play with Elf. Moon Elf is a buy-to-play. So let's decide what we want to play as. So, Halfling, if you were to do Lord of the Ring type reference, is your Hobbit. Small race. But in here, they're more of a brave. They're a lot braver than Lord of the Rings normally depicts them. Let's see. I'm probably going to flick through a few of these. Take a look at the base. Kind of just figure it out. And of course you can customize these however you want. I think I'm going to go with Half Elf. They're normally associated with clerics, but I'm going to be playing as a... You know what? Let's decide here. Trickster Rogue. Here's kind of where the imbalance comes into play. Trickster Rogue is unbalanced due to how it can so easily destroy any of these other classes in PvP. And the only reason why I'd use PvP is for any extra levels I might need before I can continue, or at least, or like where it starts getting to a point where I need to gain levels before I can continue in a reasonable fashion. So we have Hunter Ranger, Guardian Fighter, Scourge Warlock, Great Weapon Fighter, Control Wizard, Devoted Cleric, and Trickster Rogue. This is like the Trickster Rogue is the class of like the girl that was flicking around in the cutscene at the beginning, just kind of like teleporting around and doing and killing a lot of the zombies really quickly. Cleric was the girl who went in and lit the zombies on fire and then started healing them. Great Weapon Fighter is who the big guy with the eye patch would be the same class as him. Control Wizard would be like the red guy with the horns and the tail who shot fire at the dragon thing, which was called a Dracolich. They don't really show it much. They don't really show much of the other three. Scourge Warlock and Control Wizard are very, very similar. It's just Control Wizard focuses more on range, where Scourge Warlock is kind of like in between. A Guardian Fighter has really high defense from my experience playing with it on an alternate account. Hunter Ranger is extremely good PvE, player versus environment, which is your standard gameplay, but it's not really good for your PvP instances. I will probably show a bit of PvP leveling if I need to do that, but and since I went with the human class, it's going to be fairly easy. I mean, wait, not with the half-elf class, my mistake. Thought I had gone with human for some reason. But with the half-elf class, ability scores kind of lean toward cleric, control wizard, or warlock. But I'm kind of actually leaning towards a trickster rogue, partially because of previous experience with it, so that we can kind of get through this quickly. However, it's kind of hard to get the dexterity up, so I might actually come back out of this and go with, you know what, I wanted to go with human. I think I kept trying to say call the half-elf a human, so I might as well go with human instead. But with the human class, you can choose +2 to whichever you want. And you can click down here to roll scores, kind of get more of an optimum, get more of your optimum. Yeah, that does not describe me at all. Wisdom is like common sense, perception, self-discipline, empathy, that sort of thing. And intelligence is how well the character would learn and reason. They're not really needed for the trickster rogue character, which main attribute of is dexterity. But these are more of what I would have. So we're going to go with this as our character. These are just some quick things you can do. You can hit customize and go more in depth. And I mean, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, so I'll just click through this relatively quickly. Red hair. I'll always go red hair. Or at least I always do. I'm going with kind of the style of hair to where he's kind of like trying to conceal his identity. Medium is probably the best pupil size to go with, in my opinion, just because it looks relatively realistic. Eyebrows, I'm going to go with fine, same color red as the hair. First off, we're going to be doing a red. I'm not sure if I really want to go with a beard / mustache. Actually, I think I might go with this one. Yeah. And then tattoos, that's just kind of like extras you can do. And there is one that kind of goes along with one's character to be like, if I can find it. The eye band. So it's kind of like trying to conceal his identity. You can use like a black or red eye band in order to help with that. So I'm going to go with a relatively dark one. I'm not going to really do any scarring. And then I kind of have my own special scale. And then you can do scaling options, which I'm going to again go through real quick. Body shapes like the base, so like toned, slim's probably what I'm going to go with, since it does not describe me at all. So yeah, the way the character is going to look is going to be like the idea is for it to look like a character that is extremely weak and can't do anything, but then we'll be able to bring the pain, if you know what I mean. So that's my character. Just kind of looking a bit intimidating from like the side because of the nose. I'm gonna go in here real quick and change the nose. net, increase bridge depth. Looks like I have to reapply the facial layer. No. Ah. So yeah, the hair does kind of look a bit weird from the side, so I might quickly change the hairstyle. I am just talking while I'm doing this. Here we go. There we go. Actually looks fairly decent. Okay. Now here you kind of like, you get to choose like where you're from. And just so I can be a vigilante. In AM, everything has a price, controlled by 5 wealthy and powerful merchant houses. This is ruled through scheming, intimidation, parliamentism. I probably pronounced that wrong. I don't know what it is either. People of AM who tire of the corrupt rule often go in search of adventure. You have witnessed firsthand the corruption and immorality of the AM plutocracy and became a vigilante seeking to punish the wicked. And then Tamora is the deity that I'm going to choose, known as Lady Luck. Tamora is the goddess of good fortune. Those who seek good luck or want to express thanks for having received it pay homage to Tamora. And there's other deities you can choose too. That was nature, moonlight, or, well, night. War, I think. Defense, balance, I think. But yeah, there's all sorts of things you can choose. So let's see. I'm SCon Gamer, so let's go with that. I'm not going to do a biography. You can do that if you want, just to kind of further customize it. And begin. So I'll probably play through the tutorial and end the video for now. Here's a quick Sorry, I didn't get the cutscene. Well, I didn't get the volume set up for a cutscene. So, I'm going to remute this. But, yeah, you move using WASD, and that's like forward, backward, and strafing. The targeter is your mouse. If you want to think of the... Here's one way you can think of the controls. Minecraft without... Minecraft permanently stuck in F5, third-person view, in other words. So, there are a few controls I want to change real quick. I'll just find the defaults set out a bit cumbersome. So I'll change these real quick. And I mean, it's not that much of a change that I did.
The ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors.
I'm seeking adventure and riches. Neverwinter is my home. That is my business. I don't remember. Okay, so think about it. We're a vigilante. Why would we be traveling here? Probably to kill some wicked person in the first place. And would we want him to know that? So we could say, that's my business, or I don't remember. That's my business would probably sound a bit suspicious, so I'm going with, I don't remember. Thank you, I'll do that. I mute you. I want to see if I can turn off that thing. Effects, this. I'm going to turn most of this down. I want the voice and video volumes up, so you guys can kind of hear that, and that'll probably be much better than me just trying to mute and unmute everything ever so often. But Valindra is the person in the cutscene, the elf-like person in the cutscene.
To interact with characters and objects.
Oh, well, the character in the elf-like character in this, the cutscene, who at the very beginning was kind of like all of her skin was peeling off, but I mean, we'll see her in another cutscene relatively soon. So I just got a few things, some gear.
Press the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
I'm ignoring these things, kind of, but you kind of get to hear the tutorial.
Campfires are rest zones where out-of-combat players may heal.
So we have to go to the camp fire first, heal up. So that's what my main attack does.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. Would you feel better if you speak to me again?
Let's go ahead and get this new task. Okay. So that basically went over what we have to do.
Click to use Sly Flourish, damaging one melee range enemy. Hover your reticle over objects and enemies to target them.
Your reticle is the circle with the dot in the middle. But with the left click thing, it basically took the words out of my mouth, with the exception of some. So that's what my main attack is. I don't have to kill these. They're non-aggressive, even though they're our enemies. I mean, and they also don't give experience. I mean, if they gave experience, I might kill every single. I might try and destroy each one of these as you heard, just grunted. But they'll make strange sounds every once in a while. So there are a lot more that you can and you can only get 3. After that, they all kind of die where they lay. But my shift, where I hit shift, it uses some of the that yellow bar you see filling back up.
Level Up Guide displays everything you get for leveling up. They also offer important quests.
Cloud of Steel. I believe that's where I can throw a dagger. I'll have to try it out later. Saying I can't use it without an appropriate target.
We were lucky to drive Indra's forces back.
So I'm talking to a dwarf.
Thank you for aiding the wounded. They wouldn't have survived much longer with all the undead roving about. I'll try to get medical supplies and reinforcements to Linkletter as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got problems of our own here. I'm afraid I have a gruesome task for you. We've driven Valindra's main army off, but Red Wizard allies are still harassing us with summoned undead. Private Hothodon is trying to drive them off with his archers, but they're short on ammo. Search the battlefield and scavenge some arrows from the dead, and then take them to Hothodon.
Okay, so we can heal up real quick here. Not that there's much need.
Right, let's use Cloud of Steel to hurl a barrage of blades at your target.
I believe that has a number of charges, so script kill. Let's practice on this one just to see what it's like. So it just basically throws the blade at them, and you can just hold it and throw continuously. And those guys are aggressive. Actually, wait, no, they're not. They're not aggressive unless you attack them first. So you don't really have to worry about it yet. Neat. And that engraved copper tankard might bring a good price. Always check the treasure chest if you can. And you can also double tap to use that the roll up ability that I've been using. But you don't have to.
You must drive the wizards back.
Whoops, wrong button. I accidentally hit escape instead of 1.
Thank you for the help. The Red Wizards haven't been driven away because they at least forced them to keep their heads down.
So I just leveled up. So, Tempest is one of the gods you can choose from. So now I have Dazing Strike. Oh yeah, this one's kind of a neat ability. So I'm going to go straight for these guys up here. Wasn't close enough. So yeah, that's kind of how Dazing Strike works. With level 3, it is a one-hit. So you can also use your shift ability in order to quicker if you want. So talk to Private Wilfred, and we can continue.
Hello again. You're looking a good deal fiercer than when you washed up on the beach. Told you drying out by the fire would do you good. My mother always says, warm clothes make for a warm heart. You've thinned out the skeletons enough that we should be able to slip through the gate safely. Linkletter gave me some healing potions for you. You may need them on the bridge.
Thanks, let's hurry. So now I go over here, interact with the door.
Left click on a visible location to travel to it.
Sleeping Dragon Bridge.
They're in trouble! We must go to their aid!
So yeah, you gotta see my character from the front.
Double tap any direction to shift away from enemy attacks.
Or you can just shift.
You can shift when your stamina is low.
So basically you shift over. Red as is what it's trying to get you to do.
Look out! Archers!
These archers aren't very and just kind of stay still. No matter what. So since you have longer range, you can just take them out as long as you're outside of their that red zone. You won't get hurt either.
They just keep coming!
Yeah, I realize that. So you can take these guys out relatively quickly. If it's the white here, that means that you can kind of crit hit them since you have a companion on the other side. It's kind of like flanking in most games. So we continue along the bridge here and just destroy these undead soldiers. And it's saying that they're all skeletons, even though many of them look like zombies. Like that guy. That's a zombie marauder. These are skeletons, even though they have flesh on them. Which would tell me that they're actually a zombie. Back. Then again, I don't really understand. There are certain mechanics about the game that I just don't understand. People say that the game is bugged. A lot of people say that the game is bugged for some reason or another. But I've not really found any problems. Most of the problems I encounter,
Flashing from target to target, dealing damage to each.
most of the problems that I've ever encountered have been lag type. For example, since I'm recording this on my laptop,
Activate your daily power when your action points are full.
since I'm recording this on my laptop, occasionally you'll see me at a campfire without any enemies around, and I'll be taking damage, like the campfire's draining me of health points. That's actually lagged damage. Damage that's carrying over from where I was in the midst of some of these some enemies, and it didn't apply proper. It didn't apply in time, so it's over. Ooh, close one. Wilfred, you might want to back up. But yeah, again, I can take out the archers with my ranged attack relatively easily. Then here's another cutscene. It's not rendering her skin probably because of the computer I'm using, but the floating phantom is Valindra. And you would have been able to see her better if it had rendered, if I was on my other computer, which I will do most of my recordings on. But I just wasn't able to record using it today. So I used Q, that took out a lot of its health, and I want shift, dodge, see, do one,
Press F to pick up loot.
and that was actually a fairly quick battle. With some of them, it actually takes a while. So I have I have an unidentified item, and an identification scroll. If you have both in here, you can right click on an unidentified item and hit identify, exposing what it is and also allowing you to equip it. It will explain that next time I get an identification scroll.
Sorry, should have been more cautious. But when I thought of all my friends who died because of her, find Sergeant Nuts and tell him what happened. Ask him to check on my life from time to time.
Hang on, Private. I'll get help.
You have to stop her. Lord Neverwinter is instinct, but if it's better than the alternative, and I want the answer. Find Sergeant Knox. He's one of Neverwinter's guards. Otherwise, you must stop.
I'm sorry, Wilfred. So, he died. And then this is kind of like the symbol of Neverwinter. So yeah, good intro. That's probably where I'm going to end it here. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.